Hello YouTube. Today we'll try to do something a little bit different than I typically do. And despite my previously professed hatred for them, which haven't changed, I think it's only appropriate now with, the Perfect Origin arc anime wrapping up, that we do a tier list of every Devil Choujin in the game. Which are at least, like 7 Devil Choujins. Right? We'll leave the 6 Devil Knights when they get their own spotlight. Spoilers. But I guess technically some of these characters haven't even had like the shot yet. We won't really see Springman or Buffaloman until the next season when like that happens. But I think it's a good time to like do all these together, especially because we got to see most of them this season. Maybe you found like your favorites here, and I've been doing intros for basically all of these characters besides Springman and Buffaloman, which they will come when their time comes in the anime eventually. And I think especially with like that really sick image from last episode, which you probably see as the thumbnail of this video, I think it's only right that we basically take a look at the Devil Choujins as a whole, right? So in this video, maybe to borrow from some other YouTubers, let us see how good the Devil Choujins are actually in the context of Kinnikuman MGP2, right? We'll rank them in order from the first one we saw on the show until the last one, basically. Or at least the one that we haven't even seen fight yet, being Springman and Buffaloman, right? So we'll start from SteCasse King, end up at Buffaloman, which also isn't exactly, but pretty close to being the order like they were fought in the original series. So I think like this works out with some swaps, I guess. So yeah, let's get started, right? Again, I'm gonna explain myself a little bit here, kind of what I think, because again, I think tier lists have a lot of subjectivity to them, where there's a lot of one person's S tier or F tier can mean a very different thing to another person, right? Some people might, which is why there's some tier lists that are like, oh, here's a tier list where everyone is, the lowest tier is B, and then some cats are like S plus, right? I think like that's kind of useless. I think the way I'll just put it is, and to maybe explain a little bit more, is like, S tier is of course like, top tier, as in these are like the best of the best characters in the game, kind of like, realistically, honestly, you would argue in like a perfect scenario, like in a perfect meta of this game, everyone will be playing like an S tier character because this game isn't like that balanced, right? So you'll always be up against S tier, whereas like F is like the bottom tier characters that I feel like you probably cannot even win a tournament with these characters. I think like that's a pretty fair barometer, right? Where, so I'm not even saying like S tiers are like the ban-worthy characters, just kind of like the best of the best. The in an optimized world, we'll only be playing them, I think. And then F tiers are like in an optimized world, no one will even touch them. I think like that's kind of how I will define like a top tier, bottom tier, at least specifically for this game, right? And then likewise, we'll go like E is like low tier, or like D is like low mid, like low mid tier, C is like mid tier, B is like high mid tier, and then A is like high tier, right? That's probably how I will define that chart. Actually, crap. Let's just like rename it to that. I feel like that's so much better than just going all this S to F BS, right? Because I feel like everyone will always mistake that for whatever. So I'll just like rename that real quick. Alright, isn't that better? Actually, when you put it this way, I really don't need these two. Let's just back these two up. I don't like mid tier is mid tier, right? So like low mid and high mid will just fall into mid tier. So just have it start this way, and then we'll just arrange it within that, right? And now you can see like, there's a character like that. That's fine. All right. So SteCasse King. Where is SteCasse King? He's a low tier character. I think like that's pretty fair to say. SteCasse King is a lot of fun. I think if you watched like his intro video already, you would see that he is. He has like some good strings, he has some good special moves, but a lot of special moves are kind of gimmicky and they're not very good. They don't do a lot of damage, and he just has too low of health and too low damage to really just make things happen, right? So SteCasse King, I think it's pretty fair to say he's low tier. Khamen. Similarly, I think from if you watch the intro video that I did, he is kind of like without a whole lot going on, right? Kind of his whole deal is just doing 4-4S, which is not really that does not really make a character. He has other stuff going on, I guess, but for the most part, he just doesn't seem to do a lot. Now, I will say Khamen is the one that I don't feel the best placing, because I feel like I don't know him maybe as well as like these other Devil Choujins, but I think most people will agree that Khamen is pretty weak, though I say that, and I'm pretty sure like in Japan they do think he's like pretty decent, I think, or at least like mid tier. So if you ask me personally, I think I would put Khamen maybe somewhere around like here, but I think the Japanese players, a lot of them place him kind of above SteCasse King, maybe even mid tier. But this is my tier list, right? And until I'm proven wrong, which I guess we can look back into this like in like 6 months when I learn about this game, I'll be writing this video and be like, wow, that was an idiot. Why would I put Khamen in low tier when he has like this insane tech? But for now, I'll put him like in kind of like low tier because like, at least like as far as I know this character, I think he's just not great, right? He's not awful. You can still play him, right? Again, emphasis low tier. Being mid, why mid? His damage, I guess, like it's not too bad, right? He does have a better damage output than SteCasse King. Does he even? Yeah, I guess he has like special throw. He has good OTG. He is very meter intensive though, but that's not really like disqualifying a character from being good. But that's indeed a downside. He's more mid. Okay, if people are saying mid, again, I'm willing to be convinced otherwise for this character, but like, I don't know. I just like I can never see it myself. Like I'm willing to be convinced. I want to be convinced. No, I don't actually. I hate Khamen, but I want to be convinced that there's more to him than I'm aware of, right? That I'm underrating him because again, the Japanese player seems to believe he's like mid tier, and I probably like don't want to circle jerk that too much, right? But they're probably onto something, right? So sure, we can put him mid, I guess. That's probably fair. Solid damage for versus amazing, 2 good. He does have 2 good supers. Yeah, he does have 2 good supers. Damage is also pretty solid. Yeah. Okay. I can be convinced. Again, I'm not sold, but I can be convinced. Yeah, normals could be better, but they're not bad. They're not bad normals. God, I hate his jab. Yeah, okay. Maybe below SteCasse King. Like, at worst, I guess he's probably better than SteCasse King. So at worst, he's probably here, but I can see him being here. I don't think like this is the craziest thing in the world. Alright, Black Hole. Where do we place Black Hole? Now, my personal opinion, right? Black Hole is like here. Like, he's like damn near. Okay, this is a bit mean. But he's like here, I think. Personally. Yeah, not in there, start talking about comments like the 148, which is like that really good. I call it like a snake edge in an original video. That is a pretty good throw crush. So that is a pretty strong tool. Like just not even for him, but like for the game in general. So yeah, okay, I can kind of be convinced. I might be overvaluing some stuff over others, but yeah. Anyways, Black Hole. I know some people probably like disagree with me on this one, and I think part of me thinks that maybe I'm also like giving SteCasse King too much credit, and I might be a little bit biased, but I guess like seeing Penny Banban in like tournaments over the last like what 3-4 weeks, it kind of convinced me maybe he isn't as bad as I kind of like say he is, right? I think I'm just like really disappointed at like how overall mediocre he is compared to how cool he is. I think. Yeah, I think I have to agree, right? I think we had this argument that I think he's worse, but I think he's probably better. Yeah, like again, I still think he's low tier. Like, there's no way he's above low tier, but I think he might be better than SteCasse King. He's definitely, again, I think I'm kind of over SteCasse King. I just think I'm a bit biased towards SteCasse King. But yeah, I can do 50-50. I think like these two are like neck to neck though. I think like these two are definitely like next to each other. Whether he's like better or worse, I think like they're like honest to each other. I can go both ways about this. He is more mobile. That's more of a unique playstyle, I guess. SteCasse King kind of just does one thing like competently, whereas Black Hole like does a pretty unique thing mediocrely, which again I can't even like talk myself into it, right? Yeah. Oof. Yeah, again, I think these are basically neck to neck. Yeah, I think, see, again, Black Hole has better mix, but like the mix is also really gimmicky, right? Because it's just like the cartwheel once you know that it's coming, like once you know what it looks like, you can kind of just hit him out of it. You can kind of just block. It doesn't threaten you because like it doesn't rope bounce you, right? So he does have like better gimmicks, I think. Because I think his gimmicks are like kind of like too bad to even the gimmicks. The whole definitely has better gimmicks, but his damage is just worse. His gimmicks are still like not really good mix. I think SteCasse King like is very low mix though. So I don't know about bottom five. Bottom five like maybe like I kind of want to agree, but I don't want to rank him up like that hard. 623 barely puts him in mid tier. Right, 623 is a really good punish. Right, it's a really good button. But SteCasse King's jab string, I think, just gaps Black Hole as a character. Like, gaps 6-3-8, right? Like, it's... I think about this... I think, like, it's faster on this 6-3-8. And of course, it doesn't go as far. Just get much better stuff off of it compared to just, like, the splash. Yeah. So yeah, I think Nadia like raised a good point there, that I think there's like the argument that can be made that Black Hole has like this more runaway timer scam character that might actually be good because like he has like more mobility options. Yeah, I don't know. Mid-tier, that I think it's a bit much for Black Hole. His damage, I think, like just way too bad. His health is way too bad. Like he does like less damage than SteCasse King, which I'll admit I think I overvalue damage a little bit too much. But I do think like it's a serious problem with Black Hole that he just like does no damage. But so yeah, I think he's definitely low tier, but it's either this or this. Let's leave him here for now. Let's leave him here for now, and then if it looks sus after the fact, we'll come back to it. Atlantis. How do we feel about Atlantis, boys? You know, I kind of want to put him here, but that's also maybe a bit much, right? Atlantis isn't like that bad, but he's pretty bad. He's pretty damn bad. Full disclosure, he's kind of all time. Full disclosure, I have like the other tier lists like up on another screen right now, and I think Mikyodal put him like above Black Hole and SteCasse King, and Hepoko puts him like, well, below Black Hole, but also you know, above SteCasse King. Yeah, it's a hard, yeah, it's tough. But yeah, Atlantis, I just feel like he's like, what he wants to do isn't a valid playstyle in this game, so he just has to do other things that is like not good, right? His damage is not bad. His damage is probably like better than Black Hole. Like probably average is better than like SteCasse King. Average health, right? But you know, his fireball is basically irrelevant. And then Raikiko's string is strong. It's kind of a gimmick, but it is pretty strong. And they can fall out of it. I think it's less like it's strong. I think it's more like it's easy, right? I think a lot of characters like have really strong KKD combos, but Atlantis is just like it's just so easy that you just pop red KKD, do fast over and over again, right? I won't even argue that I don't think red KKD like, is optimal for Atlantis because like it's only good for that. Like it doesn't get good special moves to abuse like the extra meter or anything else besides like exactly that, right? You know, 5S is a good OTG. Yeah, I think that's like it feels awful. Maybe not bottom tier, but he's definitely like close to it. Like I will put him like just outside of bottom tier personally, but the Japanese seems to be cooking something else. We're gonna ignore them because this is my tier list, and then we're gonna come back to it and feel ashamed in 2 months. So we're just gonna put him right here. 10 frame jab is kind of deep, I will say. 10 frame jabs is kind of really deep. Yeah, that's really deep, right? Because I was talking about it earlier, where like round start in this game is kind of awful because you kind of just like rub against each other, and then like just whoever has the better button, you just kind of win instantly, right? And having a 10 frame jab basically means you always win that round start, and that's kind of really valuable. And I think that alone takes him out of bottom tier. But I don't know if that makes him go any higher because like that's one of his only luxuries for sure. Yeah, I think I like him here for now. I like him here for now. So let's leave him here. Again, we can maybe adjust towards the end. Mountain. we're moving on. Okay, jokes aside though, I can see the argument that on PS2 he's like top of height here. This might be crazy, but I feel like between like nerfs to like nerf to 66S and like other characters changing, I can see I can see him going to the top of high tier, right? He's probably still top tier. I think the only real change is maybe like he's the bottom of top tier. So for reference, yeah. So for reference, 66S, right? In arcade, it doesn't build meter for the opponent, so it's even more fucked. Which is probably why every tier list in arcade puts him top tier, right? But he does build meter on PS2. Also, in the arcade versions, you see people kind of do like this TOD, which I don't know if it's even real on arcade, but I see people go for it, where they knock down, pop red KKD, do and then TOD them with the 6S, right? And he can't exactly, like in PS2, I know he has to, because you know, to touch on PS2, you have to like pop first, throw KKD, like OTG, which is like way worse if that is, I'm assuming like that is a real thing in arcade, right? Yeah, I don't think the changes are enough. I think it definitely makes him worse for sure, like tangibly worse, but I don't think enough to make him lower than top tier, right? So there's Mount. Yeah, I think like there's kind of like no debate. Yep, he's even with everything, even with the nerfs from arcade, he's probably still top tier. But I do want to acknowledge like there are nerfs, so he's probably slightly worse than he was on arcade. Springman. Yeah, he's probably high tier. Like he might be like the top of high tier, honestly. We'll talk a bit more about Springman because We haven't done like, because as of this tier list, we haven't done like the character video on him yet. Springman is a really strong character with like really good frame data, really really strong, like a 12 frame launcher that's like what, plus 20 on block. Plus 12. My bad. I'm gonna be hyperbolic. Like plus 12 on block, like a really good natural strings, really strong pressure. Yeah, I think he's definitely like, if not at the top of high tier, definitely like within like the top 5 characters like in high tier. Like he's definitely like within like the top 10 characters easily. Like at worst, he's top 10. You know. So Springman, I think like it's pretty free high tier. And for as for why, yeah, just really good frame data, insane launcher, probably like one of the best launchers in the game. Surprisingly good, like kind of like moves like close distance, right? He abuses charge castle, probably like one of the best in the whole game. That's like exactly Zebra. Good strings too. You know, his damage is kind of low. Yeah, he's top 10 like at worst. I think he's like, he might be top 5. I think like he's top 10 at worst. But yeah, his damage is kind of like, yeah, his damage is kind of bad. His juggles are like good, but like that's kind of low damage, right? Like his damage actually like not amazing, and like it's kind of stubby buttons, right? Like besides like 6A, I'm kind of stubby button, but like yeah, good jab, great movement, great launcher, just kind of like probably one of the best rushdown characters in the game. But yeah, not perfect definitely. I feel like yeah, he could do more damage. He could be a bit less stubby. He could have a special throw that doesn't throw them out of the corner. Like that would be nice. But again, that's my value. I think that I value. But I think he's comfortably high tier, right? I think like saying that is like not crazy. That he is like at worst top 10. I think both Hepoko and Mikudal both put him like literally the the fifth best character. Yes, six. Yeah, like it doesn't even have to like counter hit. Like on that, like on normal hit, it combos into the next hit. I think. Like that's just like on like regular hit. It's just like natural, like it's just like a natural string into what is it, 6A? Yeah, 6AA is just like a natural string, and like it makes like the 6AA become a heavy stun, and like it's just like an insanely plus heavy stun. There are the unblockables too. Yeah, oof. Yeah, I think I think like he's free, like he's free top 10 at worst. Top 5 probably is like comfortably, right. He's not top 4 in like Mikyodal's and like Hiboku's tier list, because like there's a certain Texas man who's in their top 4. But we'll talk about that when we do like the next tier list, whenever like that opportunity arises. 6A is the, oh yeah, 6A is really good too. Like with TKD, it also becomes really strong. Like if you charge cancel, I think like it's plus, right? Yeah, Springman like has really good buttons. Yeah, Springman comfortably high tier for sure. Alright, last up we have Buffaloman. See, I like him more than these three, than like these stooges. But I feel like he's too bad to be called mid-tier, you know? Like, if he's mid-tier, like he's the bottom of mid-tier, I feel like. But also saying that he's worse than Khamen feels really cursed. So I don't know. Buffaloman is weird, yeah. So I like to hear like what y'all think of Buffaloman. To repeat, right? I think he does feel better than like these three, but he definitely is still like a pretty, like an objectively pretty bad character, right? He's like Mountain, except he juggles and has worse confirms. That's not a bad way to put it. Somehow he was slower too, yeah. Worse frame data than Mountain. No, his jab has worse frame data. Like the fact that he has like a 12 frame move alone, it's already like, you know, faster than like Mountain's fastest button, right? But yeah, he really kind of just like contextually kind of feels like just like a worse Mountain in a lot of ways. So I kind of get where we're coming from there. Definitely like kind of Mountain with like less reward, like easier to get there. Struggling to be kind of either cook hard or they have a worse time getting damage. It is too, but I mean, so is like 6S, right? Oh, but I mean like just like the fact that like it's his fastest button, like being locked behind meter. Yeah, it is. Because without that, the button's like 17 frames, which is like awful. Of course, like it has that usual big character like X Factor, right? Where they kind of sometimes like just cook super hard, kind of like what you said there. That's always like why people were like, oh, don't count out the low tier grapples or anything. The thing is like there's a lot of kind of like those big body characters. 468 is pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of like a similar niche as like Muscle Curtain, right? Where like you kind of use it like defensively a little bit and for like pressure. Like that's not bad. Like I feel like he's either, as far as like this tier list goes, either like here or here, right? Which either way still makes me feel really weird putting him under Khamen. But I feel like that's just true, huh? I never, again, just never thought of it that way, but just having to like say to myself that Buffaloman is worse than Khamen is kind of crazy, right? Is it like that wild if I put him here? Not super wild. Just has good air combo and fantastic gun damage. Yeah, he has really good OTG. Not like his mountain, but really good OTG. Really good juggles, right? Really fun juggles. Like a bit position specific, but like overall good. He makes you explode, right? He makes you explode. He has the highest damage output out of everyone here because that's exactly mountain. And honestly, looking at the rest of the characters, like he kind of has probably like top 10 kind of just like raw damage, right? If you ignore how easy it is to access, like he's definitely also kind of up there in terms of just like how much he can just like make you explode. So that's kind of neat. Like that's like not nothing. I don't feel bad putting him like a mid tier. I think like he's good enough to be like low mid tier. I think, right? I think like these two are both low mid tier. Yeah, I guess if I didn't like throw out the low mid tier or whatever, because I guess like for a tier like this small that is kind of useful on hindsight, I would say Buffaloman and Khamen are both kind of like low mid tier. SteCasse King, Black Hole are maybe like just low tier, but just like low like just typical low tier, and then Atlantis is like low tier, and then Springman is like top of high tier. Wow, this I hate tier lists. I hate tier lists. We'll see if this does become a series, and then Mountain is just I would argue bottom of top tier. That's kind of like what that looks like. Yeah, I don't hate him here. I think like this is fine. I can swap this similar to like SteCasse and Black Hole. I can go either way about them, but at the same time, I just like I don't know enough about Khamen to really say convincingly. But I know enough about Buffaloman to know he just had like those really severe shortcomings, right? Right. Again, tier lists are awful. I don't know why people love this stuff. I think you like this, right? I think that's about how we go here. Engagement farming Pogu, yes. He also has 2 heavy stun throws, which is a good for using meter. Yeah, that is pretty nice too, because he does want to save the meter for his OTG, right? But so that is like a good alternative. Like they're kind of hard to combo into, especially because of kind of like mashing and all. I think like mashing kind of like makes his life all harder. Probably the character in this game, because these honestly these characters besides Buffaloman don't really have heavy stuns, right? So honestly, being able to like mash out of heavy stuns like don't really matter for everyone here besides exactly Buffaloman, I think. Where actually like mashing out of like his AA, his like 5S is actually kind of hurts him a lot. So I think I kind of like him here. I think like this is okay. Springman has heavy stuns, I guess, but it's not like that important. I kind of like this for now. This is good enough for now, I guess. We'll see again. We'll check back in 6 months if we decide, wow, this was awful. This was completely whack. But I think it's close enough to the truth. I think. But yeah, to recap, and I think I'll just zoom in here to make it better for you viewers. Probably should have like done this earlier, right? We got Mountain and top. Like as far as like the 7 Devil Choujins go again. If you're asking like, where's Man? Where's Jumpman? We're saving those for the next video. Or like whenever we do it, like the Devil Knights tier list. Mountain is top tier because he's the Mountain. Springman is like is in high tier. Khamen and Buffaloman are mid tiers, and then DC are unfortunately low tiers. So how are the Devil Choujins as a whole? Pretty evenly spread out, honestly. For some reason, I kind of thought it's kind of like generally leaning pretty low, except for Mountain and Springman exactly. But it's actually pretty well spread out. I guess like these two are kind of lower. So actually, if you have everyone on here that's like with every single character, they like these 5 are kind of like towards the lower end, right? But these two do trend pretty high, so the Devil Choujins are not too bad. Not the most rounded groups. Have like some really strong characters, some really weak characters, but that's kind of like the spice of life, right? Variety is the spice of life and all that stuff. So kind of a fun and varied group. These power levels, of course, do not reflect at all how the results are in the anime. So that's kind of its own fun, I guess. But yeah, that I like this for now. So let's go with that. So yeah, this is the tier list that we came up with for these 70 characters. Hope this was fun for you all watching it on YouTube. Hope this is fun for everyone on Twitch chat. And again, if you want to participate on the next one, whenever I do these for, I guess like the Justice Choujins, when we get to that season, I guess, and like I don't know, 5 years, follow it. Follow like the Twitch, the Twitter, and whatever for kind of announcements about that, and then we'll kind of go from there, right? But yeah, this has been Fish Traps. If you like this video, do the usual like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you, if you disagree or agree with the tier list, have your own comments about it, leave it below. That's what that's for. And we will see you in the next one.